I need to put my sunglasses on for this. Okay,
It's bright in here.
It's very bright in here and very shiny from all these beautiful precious metal pieces we have. This is incredible. So this is a special episode. It's called Coins, Bars, and Rounds, where we cover all the physical silver. And Michael is going to go through all these pieces and explain it to you, the pros and cons and everything. I'm real excited for this. This is long overdue. This is a good episode for people who are starting into precious metals and, they don't know what to buy. And I think we got it covered.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have almost all the most popular silver and gold pieces that you can buy. So yeah, I'd love to go through each of these and give you a little tidbit about each and every one of them.
Okay, let's start with this. Okay, here you go, Mike. What is that? That is a coin, right? Or no, a round.
This is a coin.
Oh,
so
it's a
if
coin.
it comes from the government, it's deemed a coin. So this
Okay.
comes from the U.S. Mint. It's called the Silver Eagle. It's the most popular silver coin in the world. It's also the most expensive. So it's the most sought after. It's also the most expensive. More Silver Eagles are sold more than any other coin in the world. However, you do have to pay a premium. So I would just caution people before buying Eagles, make sure the premiums are not out of whack and they're not much more expensive than the other coins out there, such as the Royal Canadian Mint Maple Leaf. Right now, it's about 10% more expensive than the Maple Leaf. There's been times it's been 20, 30 times more expensive. So I would just wait until the premiums are low on these before I would buy these. But they are difficult to get. They do run out before any other coin out there. When silver starts to really become a hot commodity and starts selling, the U.S. Eagles is the first coin in the world to run out. So you're not always going to have this available to purchase. But if you are purchasing it, just make sure that you're not paying too high of a premium, because if their premiums are too high, I would recommend buying a different coin, such as the Canadian Maple Leaf.
Okay, cool. So this is something you want in your portfolio, your precious metal portfolio,
100%.
because it's the most popular. But
It
like you
is.
said, you want to buy it at times where
When the premiums are low.
yeah, premiums are low.
Because when they start running out, like right now we're waiting 2 months for Silver Eagles, so the premiums have started going back up again. Where any other silver product, there's no wait times. So the fact that you have to wait 2 months tells you the demand for these is much higher than the other coins. So you're going to have to pay a premium for that coin because of the shortages that are incurring.
Wow, so coins are nice. This is a really nice coin. Which leads us to the Canadian version of that, right?
Yes.
And this is the
Canadian Maple Leaf. So this is a 2024 with King Charles on the back. It's the first time he's been on the silver Maple Leaf coin after Queen Elizabeth passed. She's been on this coin for, I think, like 50 years or so since she started being the queen. I think in 1970.
so he just took her role.
He just took over
Oh,
on the back
wow.
of the coin. So that's a little bit unique. It could
Yeah.
cause the price of the value of this coin to be more in the future because it is the first.
Wow.
It's my favorite. I think it's the prettiest coin out there.
That is
It's
nice.
the shiniest. It's also the second most popular silver coin in the world.
Wow.
But the premiums are not as high as the U.S. Eagle. So you can save a little bit of money and you can obtain more silver by buying those versus the U.S. Eagles.
Right. So you're better off getting this one instead of this one.
Especially when you're in
some
Canada,
cases.
right?
Yeah.
Because in Canada, Canadian maples are more sought after than U.S. Eagles. We're selling way more maples than we are Eagles. It's probably 10 to 1 at a minimum. So
Oh,
it depends what country you're in.
Yeah, that's true.
In the U.S., most people want Eagles. In Canada, most people want maples. So for Canadians, I think buying the Canadian Maple Leaf is a great place to start your collection of silver.
Yeah, this is a beauty. Definitely a nice looking coin. And then we're jumping into here.
Gold?
Gold. And then
Yeah.
What is this?
Same thing, but in gold. So this is the gold Maple Leaf.
But that is the 1 ounce, right?
It's a 1 ounce
Same
gold
as
piece.
this. This was 1 ounce.
Same
Yeah.
piece. The only difference is the gold is 80 times more expensive than silver.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a lot more value for silver. And this is an anomaly. It's not normal for gold to be this much more expensive than silver, which is the main reason I tell people to purchase silver first before gold, because gold is trading at such a high premium right now. Gold is at all-time highs across the board in every country in the world, where silver is nowhere near all-time highs in Canada or the U.S. In the U.S., their all-time high was $50 U.S. in 1980, and today it is $30 U.S. So it's down 40% from its all-time high. So you're going to get a lot more value buying silver versus gold. But if you are trying to protect your wealth and you don't want to maintain your purchasing power, you don't want to lose to inflation, and you're worried about inflation in the economy, I mean, gold is a great place to invest your money. I just believe currently now silver has a lot more upside potential than gold because of gold being as expensive as it is right now and silver being as cheap as it is right now.
Wow. Okay, so this is a 1 ounce gold and this is a 1 ounce silver. What's the price? Where are we at approximately right now? So what is
We're
this?
selling those for around $48 Canadian,
And this is?
around 3,300
Wow, what a
Canadian.
huge
Huge
difference.
difference. So
Oh
there's
my
some people
God.
out there, really smart people, who actually think one day silver and gold will be priced at the same price.
Wow.
I'm not in that camp, but I do think 5-to-1 ratio to 7-to-1 ratio is very, very possible.
So silver can catch up to gold.
Silver, yes, I think, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to see silver outperform gold by 5 to 10 times, similar to what happened in the 1970s when silver outperformed gold by 16 times. So I think you're going to see something very similar right now. So that's why I caution people to, instead of just rushing in and buying gold, because that's your knee-jerk reaction to risk and uncertainty in the world. Everybody wants to own gold, but when you really look into silver and see its use cases and the fact that it's used in all technology and solar panels and electric cars, all the new use cases for silver, where in gold there's really no new use cases. It's money and jewelry,
Right.
and that's all it's ever been. Where silver, there's so many different use cases for silver, and you're seeing major shortages in the silver market. Where gold, you're not really seeing shortages at this point, but silver is running out a lot quicker than gold.
Okay, then we get into these pieces. Is this like a smaller
Yeah,
version?
so these are all gold maples. So they come in all different sizes.
Do you want to do all three?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so this is the 1/2 ounce gold coin. So you're looking at around $1,700.
Okay.
This is a 1/4 ounce. So you're looking around $900.
Mm-hmm.
So the smaller you go, the higher the premiums you pay. And this is a 1/10 ounce. So it's going to be around $400.
Wow.
So the smaller denomination, the higher premium you're going to be paying. So the less bang for your buck. So if you're buying a larger amount, I would recommend doing 1 ounce gold coins or bars,
Okay.
because you're not going to lose as much on the premium. But when you start buying the smaller denominations of gold, like a 1/10 ounce, personally, I would recommend buying silver instead of gold at that point, because you're paying such a high premium on the gold. You're going to get better value if you just buy silver because the premiums are not as high.
Gotcha. But this is just to show people like you can start small with gold.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and then you got even cheaper here. You got the 1 gram Valcambi bar.
Okay, great.
This is so there's 32 ounces, 32 grams in an ounce of gold. So this is 1 gram. So you're looking at around $125 for a gram of gold. So these make great gifts too. Birthday gift, Christmas gift.
Yeah, for
Want to
sure.
get people,
That's a
they're
great
interested
idea.
in precious metals. It's
Yeah.
a great way to.
You think of a gold bar like a big gold bar.
No, I know, but you're getting that much. I know.
No, but it's nice because you could, a lot of people don't have. For the people that don't have $3,000, right, for an ounce,
Yeah,
they
that's
could,
a great way to get in.
you could dollar cost average and buy this weekly, right?
For sure.
Come in Can-Am currency,
Yeah.
and you come in every week and buy this. Before you know it, you have a ton.
And honestly, that's really
Yeah.
what I recommend people doing when they buy precious metals. I would look at it as, don't just try to go all in at one time.
Yeah.
Like any investment, dollar cost averaging, buy over time,
Right.
every paycheck, whatever it may be, every month, allocate a certain amount of your pay into precious metals.
Mhm.
And then, that way you're not buying the top.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed to not buy the top. You're going to be buying the average price, which is the best way to get into any asset.
And then this is
So 1 ounce gold bar. So a lot of people,
Okay.
this is a Valcambi from Switzerland.
okay.
It's the most popular 1 ounce gold bar that's sold in the world today.
Wow.
Switzerland gold is the most popular. There's also a Credit Suisse here. So really no difference other than the mint and different designs. But when you're buying gold, it doesn't really matter who is the minter of it, whether it's Valcambi, Pamp Swiss, Credit Suisse, Royal Canadian Mint. It really doesn't matter. Gold is gold.
Right.
It's the same with silver.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, like a U.S., Australian, Canada, it's all the same, right?
It's all the same.
Yeah.
In most cases, people who live in the country, for Canadians, they're going to buy the Canadian Mint stuff.
Right, exactly.
If you're in England, you're going to buy the Britannia.
Yeah.
It's really what country you live in that makes it.
So it's not like cash where the dollar's worth more than the yen or whatever the case may be.
Nope.
This is two separate countries,
Right.
but they're the exact price, same price.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Royal Canadian Mint might be slightly higher in premium, but you're
for
talking just a
premium.
few
Yeah,
dollars,
yeah,
less than 1% change.
yeah. Okay,
So
so
the biggest question people have, though, when it comes to purchasing gold is whether they should buy a gold bar or a gold coin. And to be honest with you, we sell mostly gold bars, and the main reason for that is that you save about $35, $40 an ounce. So about 1% savings if you buy a bar versus a coin.
oh,
It's a
okay,
little bit cheaper. However, a lot of people like the coins because in the end, the big difference between coins and bars is coins are deemed as government currency. So the Canadian Mint stamps a dollar amount on the gold coins. For example, on the 1 ounce gold maple, you'll see $50 stamped on it. That basically tells you that the government's willing to pay you $50 for it if you turned it in. Now, I know the gold coin's worth a lot more than $50,
yeah. I hope
so
so. All
it's not
government
really.
always looking to scam you.
Yeah. And the silver stamped with $5. So again, we sell those for $45, $50. So it doesn't really
Yeah,
make sense how they valued it at, but
right.
it is deemed as currency. And a lot of people feel a lot more comfortable knowing that the government has deemed that coin as currency versus traditional bars that are not deemed as currency.
Right. So people like for people investing, where do you recommend? Private or government?
I think you should have both.
You should have both.
I
Okay.
really do. I have
But you
gold,
okay.
silver, coins, bars, and rounds. Large bars, small coin. I have it all. And the reason I say that is because it depends on what the situation is at that time and what you should be buying. Because some of the coins will go up in value a lot more than the bars. So you could make some additional income. For example, if you bought the 1 ounce Royal Canadian Mint silver coin, and in the next month they run out and you can't buy them anymore, which
Right.
is very possible because the government minted coins run out first. When those run out, you'll be able to sell your coin for an extra 10, 20, 30% more than you would
Ah,
your
okay.
bar. So you may save on the initial purchase when you buy a private minted coin or bar or a round. However, it's not going to go up in value like some of these coins can go up in value.
Right.
So that's why I tell people to be diversified because your coins might go up in value a lot more than those bars. Even though you're saving that 5, 6, 7% up front, that
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily mean your investment's going to perform 5, 6, 7% better in the long run. So that's why I say buy some Eagles, buy some Maples, buy some Buffalo Rounds, buy some big bars because the big bars, which we haven't really got into yet, but this is a 100 ounce Royal Canadian Mint silver
Whoa.
bar, I love this bar. It's my favorite 100 ounce bar again from the Royal Canadian Mint. I think the Royal Canadian Mint makes the nicest silver and gold, and I think a lot of
Ooh,
people agree with me
wow,
here.
this is heavy.
It's really heavy.
Oh my
It's
lord.
yeah, and it's honestly
A 100 ounce. So what is this worth, Mike?
you're looking at around $4,500.
Wow, interesting.
Just a couple months ago, you could buy that for $3,000. So the price is going up significantly. Silver's up about 45% over the last 2.5 months, and I think that trend is going to continue. So this 4,500 piece of silver, I do believe, will be worth $100,000 in the next few years, because I do believe silver will
Wow.
be trading in
Well,
the
that's a big jump.
It's a huge jump. I
Yeah.
mean, you're talking about a 30 times move, but that's exactly what happened in the 1970s. Silver went up 41 times. I think silver is right about to do that same thing in this decade. You're going to see silver go from $30 where it is today up to $500 to $1,000. And at that point, this 100 ounce bar, instead of being able to buy it for $4,500, you're going to have to pay $100,000 for this bar in 5, 6, 7
So
years.
you better get in now. You better.
Now, the other thing about these
That's
is
a big jump.
when
man.
you buy the bigger bars, you're also going to save a lot more on your premiums. It's your cheapest way to purchase silver.
Oh,
You're going to
okay.
get the most bang for your buck. But the downside is in the future, let's just say this is worth $100,000, and maybe you only want to sell $5,000 of silver, but you can't. You have to sell the whole bar. So that is what
That's
the
a good.
nice thing about buying 1 ounce denomination. So I would say do a mix.
Yeah.
Buy round 1 ounce denominated rounds, 1 ounce denominated coins, some 10 ounce bars, and then have some 100 ounce bars as well. So again, that's why I always say be diversified in your silver, just like you would in your stock portfolio.
Definitely. That makes a total sense now. Should we get into this one right here? This is
Yeah,
cute.
these are really cool. This also comes from the Royal Canadian Mint. So these are 25 1 gram coins, and they look exactly like a gold coin does in the 1 ounce, except they're 1 gram, which is really, really small. However, the purpose of these are you could pop these off in squares. So if the banking system were ever go down, your bank card doesn't work, and you're not able to access funds, this is a great way to barter. Some people would like to use silver. Some people like
Yeah.
gold, but if you want to buy gold, this is a great idea. At least to have some pieces like this. So if there was a situation where you did have to barter, you can break off these little 1 gram pieces, which are worth around $125, $130 each, and use those when you're
Right. And
looking
if
for.
you can't afford the $3,000 1 ounce, right? You could come in here, dollar cost average every month, just buy
Yeah,
one.
you can buy 1 gram at a time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, that's
yeah, it's a cool
great.
piece. A lot of
That
people
that's
like that.
that's that's great to have. Um, why is the size here all different? But the
It's just packaging. It's
oh, is it?
different. Some have different width,
Okay.
different heights. So some look bigger than the others. Royal Canadian Mint one probably looks bigger than the other
Yeah,
ones.
the Royal Canadian
There's
Mint.
no difference in size. It's just some are thicker, some are wider. It's the same thing on the 10-ounce bars and the 100-ounce bars. Some 10-ounce bars are really, really small. Some are really, really big. It's all dependent on how thick they want to make them.
Yeah.
So it's really up to the mint.
So let's get into some more bars here. Here's a 1 ounce.
This is a 10-ounce Royal
Oh,
Canadian
10
Mint
ounce.
silver bar. This could be my favorite bar of all of them, to be honest with you. Really, really difficult to get.
Yeah.
These are tough to source. These run out really fast. Most of the time, I'm not able to buy those from my wholesaler, and I have to buy them at the retail level and pay a high premium. So whenever you get a chance, if you're in a coin shop like ours, and you see them in stock and you're able to buy those, I would highly recommend getting the 10-ounce Royal Canadian Mint bars because they're so difficult to get right now.
What is a 10 ounce worth now for the?
You're looking at around $480.
Oh, that's
Ballpark.
not bad at all. So this is a good one to collect
I think
investing,
so.
eh?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
government minted. It's really pretty. It's sealed. It won't tarnish because that's the one thing with silver. It will tarnish if you keep it unpackaged, unsealed.
Oh, okay. So you should keep all your
Always keep
silver
it sealed. Don't cut them open. Leave them in
Yeah.
the packaging.
Gotcha.
Leave them in the safe. Leave them in a bag in a sealed container so that you don't get any. Because
Oh, that's a
if
good
if
tip.
they do stain, you do lose value, and people aren't going to be willing to pay you as much as you should have got for it because it's stained.
Oh, so that can lose the value if it's stained?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And most dealers, because then they're not going to be able to resell it.
Yeah.
So I like to buy products from customers if I'm able to resell it to my customer. Once I know I'm not able to resell it to my customer and I either have to hold on to it or sell it back to my wholesaler, I'm going to pay them less for it because there's a cost in shipping out those
right.
that silver or gold. So keeping your silver and gold in good condition is very important.
And let's jump to this one.
Kilo bar. So just a larger option for silver. You're looking at around the $1,400 range. Very pretty. This is JBR, private mint in the U.S. Yeah, there's a few different mints that create kilo silver bars.
And what's this valued at? Around
Approximately $1,400.
$1,400. Wow.
Yeah. So again, 32 ounces of silver in there. But again, if you don't own any silver, your first purchase should always be 1 ounce denominations. You always want to be able to barter with the silver you own. Worst case scenario, your debit card doesn't work and you need to use something to buy stuff. Having 1 ounce silver coins is the best because that kilo bar is not going to do much for you.
Right.
It's just too big, too valuable.
How about a 10 ounce here?
Again, similar to the Royal Canadian Mint 10-ounce bar, same concept.
Is that private?
This comes from a private mint. So this is a Silvertowne Mint that makes this, and this is called the Buffalo. So you got the Indian head on one side and you got the Buffalo head on the other.
Nice.
This is the most popular privately minted bar in the world. And this is the most privately minted bar in the world. And this is the Buffalo as well. Buffalo on one side and the Indian head on the other. It's the most popular round in the world, and it's your cheapest way to invest into silver is by buying privately minted coins.
Now, why are there rounds? What's the difference from a round and a coin?
Okay, so you can't call this a coin.
Okay, why?
Even though it is a coin.
It looks like
a
coin
coin, feels like a coin, but you can't call it a coin because it comes from a private mint. So
Okay.
Silvertowne makes this, but it's not a government institution.
Okay, got it.
The only way you can call it a coin is if it comes from a government.
Government mint.
Because
Okay,
the government
gotcha.
deems it as currency. So now you can call it a coin.
Gotcha.
Okay, so privately minted, that's all rounds. And you save a little bit by buying the rounds.
Right.
The downside is it's not deemed as currency, and you're not going to have major shortages in the rounds either. The shortages are going to come on the government minted products.
Okay, I got that. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And then let's jump into the iconic stuff. So the pop culture, you see this a lot on a lot of online precious metals shops. This is the Bitcoin.
Yeah, so this is the Bitcoin 1 ounce silver round. I actually had these made a few years back. In order to make silver rounds, you have to order into the thousands. So it was costly to make them because they have to make a die.
Oh, wow.
So the reason I made these is because people who purchase,
Wait a minute. You made that coin?
yes, I had
You were
them made.
you had this made?
Yeah, I
Oh,
created the
wow.
design and everything. So one side is a QR code that you can scan, and it gives you the live price of Bitcoin. And the other side is just the logo of Bitcoin. The reason I make these is because people who like to invest in precious metals tend to be the similar type of people who invest in Bitcoin. So again, it's money outside of our current banking system. So it's something I believe in. I'm a big advocate of Bitcoin. So I thought it would be cool, and it's something that people like. Again, great birthday gifts.
So where can you get this? KNMBullion.com?
Can you can go to our online website or buy it in our store on Dougal Avenue. But yeah, you can buy them online at canambullion.ca as well.
Now these ones, these rounds, and there's obviously there's no coins like this, right? With pop culture stuff on it. No, you'll never find that. Just rounds.
Yes.
Because it's private, and like you said, you made this one, which is I thought really cool, especially if you're a big Bitcoin fan.
Yeah.
You know, it's great to have in your collection, and that's amazing. Now these are still. Is this a 1 ounce? Is the same as this?
Yep.
And the value still the same?
The value of the
Just
silver,
a little
the
bit.
value of silver is the same. Now you're going to
Yeah.
pay a lot more for the eagle
Because you're gonna
Because
because the premium.
it's more
right?
sought after,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
And they're harder to get. These
Yeah.
don't tend to run out as quickly as the U.S. eagles.
Right. Exactly.
But there is a little bit of a premium on those because, again, we have to get them made, so there's an extra cost for that.
Yeah. Now are these very popular, like the Star Wars ones. You see them always online.
They're really popular.
Yeah.
But they're not. People aren't buying 1,000 ounces of Star Wars coins.
Yeah.
They're buying one coin for a gift, right?
Yeah,
So these are more of a novelty item.
Exactly.
Cool birthday gifts,
Yeah.
Christmas gifts.
But they sell, right? Because a lot of
Oh
people
yeah,
like,
people love
yeah.
it. People love that those
Yeah.
different types of things.
Let's jump like
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah. That's been our most popular round lately.
Really, the
But
Trump
again,
one.
they're not buying thousands of ounces of these. If
Yeah.
you're buying thousands of ounces, you're going to want to buy the more
Right.
popular
Exactly.
buffaloes
Yeah.
or maples. But this is cool. It's called says wanted for a second term Donald Trump coins. Obviously, not everybody's a fan of Donald
Yeah,
Trump.
exactly. Not everyone's
But
going
to
buy
be honest
those.
with you, most people that see them here really like them, and it's been a popular.
Wow, and you could find this one on canambullion.com?
Yep, canambullion.com as well.
Wow, cool. That's really cool one. I like that. And then I don't think we covered this one. This round here. This is the
Which one is this? Britannia? Yeah, this is the Britannia from the UK. Again, King Charles on the back. Again, government minted coin.
okay. That's a government mint.
Government minted. You also have the Austrian Philharmonic. You got the Australian kangaroo.
Right.
There's a few different countries that have their own mint that create their own coin.
Okay.
So these are the most sought after coins in the world.
So that's equivalent to our maple.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Prices are very, very similar.
Similar. Yeah.
But again, because we're in Canada, I would probably recommend the maple because they're more well recognized, and people are more willing to accept those for payment versus something they might not be familiar, like a Britannia.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Great. Now, if we could go these, what are these?
So that's a tube of maples. So these are the Canadian maples, the 1 ounce silver coins from the government of Canada.
So how much is in a tube?
So you get 25 coins.
25 coins. So if you order a large order of that, that's how it would come in the mail.
Yep.
Oh. Man.
So these, yeah. So these are the ones we've been talking about. Yeah,
Nice.
they're beautiful, and again, you're talking about $1,200 for a tube,
Right.
ballpark. This is where I would start, to be honest with you. If you had an extra $1,000 just sitting around, I would start specifically with this brand, Royal Canadian Mint. Buy the 1 ounce coins. Get started that way. Next is the buffaloes. So these are shorter. So you're only
And this is where you want to leave it in. You keep it in.
leave
here,
it
stored?
sealed in
Yeah,
the tube
sealed
because
in
that's
the
how they
tube. Okay,
stay
gotcha, yeah.
high quality and they don't tarnish.
Right.
And then these are the 20. You get 20 coins or 20 rounds. The buffaloes. So again, these are going to be a little cheaper per coin. You're going to save about 5-6% when you buy the privately minted rounds versus the coins. But most people will buy in tubes like this. They don't buy individual coins. They're looking to make a real investment, and that's why a minimum of 20 ounces is usually where I would start.
Awesome. And this here too.
These are the U.S. Eagles. So these come in, again, 20 again. So you can see they're the same height. So there's 20 U.S. Eagles in here. Just slightly more expensive than the Canadian. You're talking about 10% more expensive than the Canadian mint.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are the Austrian Philharmonics. Do you have one there?
I don't think I have one.
These are really nice. These actually, you could argue, are a little nicer than the maples. Pretty cool. They're shiny.
Oh yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
so
nice.
Austrian Philharmonic.
I see that.
Not too many people know what these are or where they come from, but they're really pretty.
Yeah, that is a very pretty. This is popular as well, right?
I mean, it's popular in the world. I wouldn't
world?
say here it's necessarily popular, but it's definitely one of the most sought after coins in the world. Yes.
So let's say if you're a Canadian investor, would you recommend strictly staying with the Royal Canadian Mint, minted government coins?
No.
Or just mixing it up is nice too?
I would have a mix. I would do half government mint, half private mint.
Yeah. Okay.
Half. I would do mostly Royal Canadian Mint. Maybe have some U.S. Eagles.
Yeah.
But again, it's good to have privately minted because you're getting more bang for your buck, right? You're going to get an extra 6% of silver.
Right.
So when you're buying large amounts, that might add up because silver does go up 30, 40 times. I mean, it's pretty important to get as much silver as you can in your hand. And that's why I say don't buy all government minted.
Yeah.
Because let's just say the government minted stuff doesn't go up more in price than the privately minted, then that would have been a mistake to just buy all government minted. You would have wasted that 7% up front that you never got back. So that's why I recommend just being diversified, buying coins, bars, rounds from the government and private mint. Large bars as well. I think they have their purpose.
Right.
But if you're just buying one, like let's just say you have $4,500 in the bank and you want to put it all into precious metals, don't go buy a 100-ounce silver bar.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. It's your cheapest way to buy silver, but it's not the ideal method of holding silver.
Right.
Because again, you might not want to sell that. If it's worth $100,000, you're not going to want to sell that whole 100,000. But if you have a tube of coins, you could sell one coin at a time.
Right.
For $1,000 versus selling the whole 100,000 bar.
No, the question I asked is if I'm Canadian, I just should stick to Royal Canadian Mint and just buy what is the motive to buy other countries, American? Is it because, okay, I could see the American one because there's a big premium. This is sought after. Maybe later down in the road, this would be valuable. Is that why? Yes. Because really, if I'm Canadian, I'll just buy a Royal Canadian Mint.
Well, I'll give you an example. Give me the Eagle.
Yeah.
So the U.S. Eagle, for example, if you bought this 3 years ago, just before COVID, after COVID happened, you couldn't buy these anymore. So they were almost impossible to get because silver started flying off the shelves. We were waiting 4 months.
During COVID, during the pandemic.
That's when everybody rushed into silver and gold. So our wait times went from 1 week to 4 months.
Wow.
In just a few weeks.
Wow.
So that's how quickly the physical above ground silver runs out. And there's going to come a point, in my opinion, in the next 12 to 24 months where all the above ground silver is completely sold out. And nobody's going to be able to buy it. But my point is the U.S. Eagle went up 30% more than any other silver product in the world because it was impossible to get. So I happen to own a bunch of Eagles, so I was able to sell them at a 30% premium more than what I paid. I'm not even talking about the price of silver going up. I'm just talking about the price of this coin.
Wow.
Went up 30% more than the Canadian maple leaf. Okay, so that's why I say be diversified.
Yeah.
Even on the other government minted coins, you don't know what's going to run out. Whichever coins runs out is the one that's going to go up the most as far as premiums go. Because once they're unobtainable, the premiums spike through the roof. So it's good to have a variety of different things. My guess is this will run out first again. My guess is the second coin to run out will be the Canadian maple leaf. That's traditionally what happened because it's the second most popular. So when people realize they can't order the Eagles, first thing they're going to want to buy is the Canadian maple leaf.
Right.
So that's why I kind of push the Canadian maple leafs because the premiums are still a lot less than the Eagles. And I think they're going to run out next. After the Eagles run out, I think the maples are going to run out and you're going to be able to make an extra 20, 30% on top of the price of silver going up just because they're really, really difficult to get. So I would buy the government minted stuff as long as it's available and the premiums are not super, super high. Because there's going to come a point when the silver starts to run out, you're not going to be able to get any of the government minted coins. That's the first things that run out is government minted products.
Wow. Well, let's take a look at this cash, this Willy Wonka cash we got here. What is this? And I bet everyone watching this basically does not know what this is. Now, I know it's called goldbacks.
Yeah.
But please explain this to our viewers.
These are amazing. I mean, this is probably one of the coolest inventions of our lifetime. This is something that can change money in the world forever. Basically, this, for example, says $50 on it, not $50, 50. All that means is this contains 51,000th ounce of an ounce of gold. Okay.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how much these retail for. So let's just say $150 or so. But it's made completely out of gold. This is 99.99% gold. It's made on polymer. It was made by Jeremy Corden a few years back, and it's being used in Utah currently by thousands of businesses. So thousands of businesses are accepting goldbacks as payment, and the people around different states in the U.S. are using these goldbacks for payment.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
It's the whole reason he created these was to be used as a payment system outside of our current banking system.
Right. So can this one day replace
it can
cash?
100% replace cash.
Wow.
And to be honest with you, I saw him on a podcast recently on Brad Lea's show. We had Jeremy Corden on as well a couple months back. Great guest, fascinating.
Right. Yeah.
He spent millions and millions of dollars to create this technology. But one of his questions from Brad was like, well, this is a direct threat to our current monetary system. He's like, if this ever became really popular, you should be probably scared for your life. But Jeremy Corden came back and said a really cool comment. He's like, well, if I was a central banker, I would be reaching out to me to understand the technology behind goldbacks so that they can actually use it for their currency going forward.
Yeah,
so as much as it's a competitor now, I think it's something that 100% they can adopt this technology. Like, why is our dollars just paper? Because that really just means it's confetti. It's useless. It has zero value.
Really, yeah.
But if you actually because our money has been backed by gold and silver for thousands of years. This is only recently, since 1971, we've been off the gold standard.
Right.
So all Jeremy's trying to do is bring us back to a gold standard. And no better way. This is the first time ever in history has money been made that looks like paper money from gold. They're going to start working on a silver one as well. It's the popularity is growing by 100% every year. So it's doubling in popularity every year. And last year I think they made $250 million worth, and this year they're expecting $500 million. So if that continues to double, 10 years down the road, we're talking about a serious threat to the current monetary system as it is today. Because we don't need the central banks.
The dollar's going too, right?
Well, that's just it. Yeah. People are looking for an alternative currency out there. Bitcoin's a big one that's becoming more popular right now. Gold and silver is great. The only downside with gold and silver is it's not easy to barter with. It's like if you had to pay for a coffee with a gold coin, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But that's where this comes in. This 1/1000th of an ounce of gold is only worth about $4.
Amazing.
Okay. So now you can actually use gold as payment for even small purchases. So that old theory that gold is too bulky, you can't bring it across borders, blah, 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 that goes out the window when it comes to this technology. So to me, it's not only something that I think can save humanity. I mean, right now, it's more of a novelty item. It's getting people used to it, starting to use it. Let's just say you go for a haircut, right? And you want to pay your hairdresser $50. Well, instead of giving her $50, give her 10 goldbacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now this is going to be worth $50 in real dollar terms. But it spreads the word. It helps. You want people to start accepting these, and you want people to start using them for payment. And it makes people more aware, like, what is this? Why?
And when gold goes up, like
these go up.
Yeah, these will go up.
So if gold goes up 500%, which I believe it will over the next 5-10 years, yeah, your goldbacks are going to go up 500%.
Because this is actual gold. They use a special technology.
It's incredible.
This is phenomenal. It's honestly,
I think it's the coolest invention of other than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is pretty
Yeah.
incredible.
This
as
is
well.
right up with it.
That's right up there with
Yeah.
it. I mean,
This is amazing. And you could tell like the 50 weighs more than the
oh yeah,
one.
5 times or 50
Yeah.
times as much.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild. This is really
It really is cool. And I hope
where can you get this, Mike? You can get this on.
Yeah, so we're actually the only dealer in Canada that actually sell goldbacks right now.
Wow.
So you can buy them on our website at canambullion.ca, or you can buy them here in the store on Dougal Avenue. It's been a really popular product here since we brought it in a few months ago. It's a great birthday gift. Again, it's a cool novelty item.
It's a great. I'd rather give this gift because one day this is going to be worth way more than giving a $50 bill.
Exactly. How many times are you just giving cash as a gift, and they spend it that next?
For all my family and relatives out there, please, this is what I want for Father's Day, Christmas, birthdays, right here, please.
Yeah, they're really cool. I mean,
that's a great.
They've become really popular, and honestly, it's on our online store. This is the most popular product we sell online right now is goldbacks.
That's incredible.
So it's gaining in popularity and at a rapid pace, and I think it's really exciting for the future of gold and goldbacks. I hope it's a big success, and I think it will be.
Wow, that's phenomenal. So all these products here we can get on www.canambullion.com.
Yep.
Every single one product here.
We have hundreds of products on our store. These are just a few of the more popular ones that we sell. I'm just trying to add up the math here of how much this would all be worth right now if you wanted to start a collection.
Yeah, how much would all this
right now? You're looking at around 10, 20. You're looking at around $25,000 approximately right now. So to be honest with you, if you were to come in with 25 grand, this would be an amazing great pack to get
diversified portfolio.
Yeah, you're about 50% gold, 50% silver,
with a big upside.
Huge upside, and it's in your possession. That's the coolest thing about gold and silver, right? You have it in your safe, you have it in your possession. You can always use it. Doesn't matter what happens.
This is so nice, and you know what? You got to get people to feel this stuff. It just in this digital world where everything's digital, and then you come here and it's so nice to feel. It actually feels like real money.
It does.
You know what I mean?
And that's because, to be honest with you, it's the energy that is created from the silver.
Yeah.
Silver actually creates energy, and that's why it's the best conductor of electricity in the world.
Right.
Silver is a very unique product, and when you do play with it and touch it every day, it actually gives you energy. It's pretty cool. It also it purifies water, for example. It's amazing some of the things that silver can do. So you have to have it in if you don't touch it and you just hear the word silver or gold, it's hard to believe in it. But once you actually come into contact with it, feel it, look at it, touch it, you have a whole new understanding of it. And I think it's something that has to be in everybody's portfolio at this point.
No, this is amazing. And if people still have questions, you offer free consultations. You have yourself and precious metals experts, right?
Yeah, basically the conversation we just had for the last half hour is basically the conversations I have with my customers. Right. I show them the products we have. I explain the differences between the government mint and private mint, gold versus silver, where I see the most upside opportunities. Because a lot of people have really no idea where to start. It's very... because gold and silver is not really taught to us in school. You'd have to learn this all on your own.
Right.
Your financial advisor is not going to tell you anything about it. Your bank's not going to tell you anything about it. You got to learn this all on your own. So most people don't really know too much about it. So we offer free consultations. You can sit down, talk with myself or another precious metals expert. We sit you down. We walk you through all of our products, what we believe offers the best value, and how to be diversified. I think that's the most important thing. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Don't just come in and say, hey, you know what? I want 100,000 in gold and that's it. Have a conversation, understand what the upside is, what the pricing is, historically speaking, what happens during certain cycles. So all these things it's really important to know before you make these purchases. So I do highly recommend anybody that's buying gold and silver for the first time, have a consultation, whether it's with us or another precious metals company. Get that information, get that education, and know what you're talking about before you make that purchase.
Awesome. And that wraps up episode 17 of the Gold Awakening podcast.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Marcello.
Okay, take care, guys.